Well, good morning, my friends, Welcome. Welcome to a creative healing place. My name is Benjamin Blackett. I am a life mastery consultant, a motivational speaker, as well as a transcendence facilitator. And so, I need to make that. Hold on a second. Sorry, there was something in the way of my camera that was making me crazy. Okay, now I can see where you are. You can see where I am. This is all good. So as I said, you're at a creative healing place. You have found your way here for a morning mindset book study. And I love to give folks a moment to tune in. But before I do, the book we are working on this month is this book, The Invitation, a book by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. Oriah Mountain Dreamer. And this is just a brilliant book, and I wanted to bring you this book as a gift. It's a journey book. It certainly takes a little something to get with. Now, what I'm wondering, doesn't look like people are here yet, so I'm going to give you a moment. What time is it? We're doing okay time-wise. So as you come in for this book, a couple of things. I, of course, love to have you sign in. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're tuning in from, because it makes it interesting for me. I think it makes it more interesting for you as well. So that being said, if you want to make a comment either over there or over there, down there, wherever your comments appear on your page, so let me know you're here and where you're tuning in from, that'd be fantastic. And in the meantime, I do want to talk to you about this. We are on day 2 of the invitation. And so yesterday being the 1st of December, I think this is a perfect way to finish off 2021, and it's a perfect way to bring us into 2022. You know what I'm wondering, though? I'm wondering if this live stream is working, because usually there are people here by now. Well, this is just interesting. Where is everybody? What's happening? And with that, you know what? I think before I begin, I'm going to show you where I am. I'm going to give you a longer view at the end of this, but I'm going to show you where I am because it's Thursday and it's my special day to be beside the ocean in the wintertime, because I come from a meeting that's by the ocean, and I just want to show you this because I can. So you have to take a look at that. It's pretty spectacular today. We've got some wind blowing out there, and what I wonder is if you can actually see me. Did I go live in the correct place? Am I live on a creative healing place? Well, this is interesting. Oops, you don't want to see my dashboard, but I will give you that. Okay, let's come back here. Well, this is really confusing me, kids, because usually people are here by now. And I don't know how to shrink it to take a look. Is there a way I can do that? I don't think there is. Is there? Well, this is interesting. Okay, there may be nobody here, so I'm hoping that you catch it, those of you who are wanting to. I know there are people who are usually here by now, but you're not, or it doesn't look like you are. I'm trusting this is going live. It says it is. Hopefully my phone will ring if it's not, and somebody will be saying, hey, where are you? What's going on? So the invitation. I've promised that I would be reading this to you every morning as we do read this, just so you have a refresher of what it is. The invitation is this. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you'll risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you've touched the center of your own sorrow, or if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own. If you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand on the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes! It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done for the children. To feed the children, actually. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. That is The Promise, the poem, and we are in the book The Promise. And yesterday we were finishing off with 3 warnings and promises as we begin the book in the chapter of Accepting the Invitation. And in this chapter she says this: the third warning holds yet another promise. No part of the journey is wasted. Once you recognize within yourself a hunger for something beyond just continuing, once you taste even the possibility of touching the meaning enfolded in your life, you can never be completely content with just going through the motions. There is no going back. Learning cannot be undone. The wisdom touched in moments of real intimacy penetrates the soul with knowledge of who and what we are. It transforms us. And I did want to mention that as being the third promise, that those of you who have come to my morning mindset book studies, and you come here regularly, and you're already in learning, you know that your soul has been touched in a way that you can't turn back. Your soul has been touched in a way where it's time to open. It's time to be awake, to be aware of who it is you are and what it is you love. And the thing about this is that once that is touched, it really is so difficult to go back. And it's not that we can't. We can choose at any point in time to go back. We can do that. But the reason that it's difficult, the reason that it's so challenging to do that, the reason that it seems impossible to do that is this: once we taste it, we just want more. And that's good. That's a good thing. Anyhow, Oriah Mountain Dreamer continues this way. She says, I cannot promise that the journey will always be easy. Opening ourselves to living intimately with the world is not a selective process. If we refuse to touch the places of sorrow or confusion within ourselves or others, we cannot cultivate the ability to be completely present in our moments of joy and ecstasy. That's powerful, right? So if we can't deal with the sorrow, with confusion, and and I have to say that certainly because, it's not to say that this is always easy and rosy. It's not to say that we just automatically get everything we want if we focus our minds on it. Yes, that helps us get where we want to go and does help us bring us the lives we love. But the real magic occurs in us being present for the life we have, in spite of all those conditions and circumstance, which seem to be contrary to what we think we would like to have in our lives. And I'll tell you that, I have been witnessing several people around me recently going through loss of people very close to them. And I've been having some of that myself within the past few years. Those of you who don't know me well, both of my parents have left this plane. They left 2.5 years ago and almost 6 years ago, respectively, my father and my mother. So, there's stuff that happens in our lives that we don't think we would like to happen. Oh, there's somebody I recognize. I think. Glad to see you join. Is that Erica? I think that's Erica. It is Erica. Woohoo! Believe it or not, Erica, you're the first one here today. I've been reading for a while, and I don't know where people are, but there they go. They're not here. In any case, so what we're saying, right, is that it does take a challenge, and it takes a little certain something. And if you're a person who comes to these readings and you stay in this, give yourself congratulations, because it takes something. So if we refuse to touch the places of sorrow or confusion within ourselves or others, we cannot cultivate the ability to be completely present in our moments of joy and ecstasy. But if we are open to sorrow as well as joy, we can expand our ability to hold ourselves and the world in our own hearts. It's a powerful promise, don't you think? I know we can do this because I have experienced and have seen in others the ability to go into and embrace each of the places of intimacy invoked by the invitation. And this, by the way, is the reason that I wanted to read this for us. This is the reason that I wanted to read it as a gift, because I identify so much with the power of it and how it really is opening to us when we call ourselves to walk forward in life. Oriah continues this way. She says, I can tell you that that it is possible to feel pain without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it, to dance with joy and feel ecstasy completely, to live with failure, to see beauty, to stand in the center of the fire. I have lived each of these without regret, and my experiences have given me a great faith in the human spirit. And this is the truth for me as well. For me, personally as well, not just her. Oriah continues, my experiences have birthed within me an infinite tenderness for the courage of the human heart. Mine and yours, she says that, mine and yours, that will stand up again and again and expand to hold all that matters, even when doing so seems, to the human mind, unbearable or simply impossible. We can do this. And when we do it together, it is easier. When I was giving birth to my first son, she, not me, when I was giving birth to my first son, my partner, who was as inexperienced and overwhelmed as I was by the intensity of 16 hours of labor, tried to reassure me that everything was progressing as it should, that I was fine. Caught between the fear of what was still to come and the pain of the moment, I was not at my best. How would you know? I snapped at him, and we both looked to the midwife. When she assured us that everything was fine and reminded us both to breathe, we listened. She knew. She had been there many times before. It was her knowledge, born of experience, that we trusted. And so this is a powerful thing, as she shares her experiences with me, and this is one of the powers I have of being able to share my experiences with you too. Oriah continues this way. We will give birth here to a deeper intimacy with our lives and our world. I am the midwife who has attended many births and borne children herself. When it is hard, I will remind you of what you already know, that you can do this, that the courage to go deeper is found by letting your desire grow larger than your fear, that strength is found in your longing to live fully, your willingness to settle for nothing less. Listen to that, your willingness to settle for nothing less. And this is one of the reasons, again, why I wanted to bring you this book, because I believe this is the coach that I am. I am willing to stand in the fire with you and let you stand for nothing less than your life fully lived. I will not leave you suspended in the places that may be difficult, but will move you through to the places where breathing comes more easily, periodically offering prayers and meditations you can use to rest and renew your body and heart. Which means, by the way, she does write meditations in here. And I am going to offer, for those of you who are following this series right along, and Erica, God bless you, I love that you're here. There are going to be meditations that she offers in here, and I'm going to offer them to you as she writes them. And so as I read them for you, I'm going to invite you each time, and I'm going to remind you as we come up to the meditations to go ahead and take part in them, to participate, to play full out. And I promise you that I will not lead you into a meditation that we cannot finish within our time. I'm making that promise right now. So if we come up to a meditation and we don't have enough time to get to it, and it's time to come up closing, we've got 5 minutes left, whatever, we're still going to take the time to do that, but not at that time. We're going to close out the reading for that day, and we'll get to the meditation the next day. All right, so uh-oh, I lost my place. Oh, no, I didn't. So she says this. She says, "We are not alone as we struggle to open fully to life. When I am able to live with real intimacy, when I pay attention to each moment and do not shrink away from what is true, I experience a presence that is not mine alone, that holds me even as I hold the moment. This presence, this great mystery known by so many different names, God, Spirit, Allah, the Great Mother, lifts me, fills me with a vast silence and a sharp taste of interconnectedness with all life. I have faith in the mystery and the many ways in which it sustains us." She is such a beautiful writer. I love the clarity, the precision of her words. "Before we begin this journey together, you have a right to know what motivates me, why I seek to live intimately with my life and the world." And these are Mariah's words, and yet they are as true for me as they are for her. "The most truthful answer to this is the simplest, because I have to." I want to say that again. The most truthful answer to this is the simplest, because I have to. This is why I do it. That is the simplest for me as well. It's because I have to. I am compelled by some deep hunger of the soul, driven by a desire that will not leave me alone, to live life to the fullest. I will say that again. That is true for me as well. I am compelled by some deep hunger of the soul, driven by a desire that will not leave me alone, to live life to the fullest. This is what's going on inside of me, this very moment while I'm sharing with you. Oriah continues, I don't want to say that, not her name, Oriah. She continues, "And I know this does not mean working endlessly, accomplishing the most, or consuming the greatest amount and variety of things and experiences. It means tasting each mouthful, feeling each breath, listening to each song, being awake and aware of each moment as it unfolds." And that too is what is the truth for me and my desire to live fully. Living fully in the present does not mean disregarding the consequences of our actions for the future. If we in the West, where so much of the world's political and economic power resides, are going to find a way to make the changes that are necessary to ensure that our children's children can live on this planet, we have to learn how to participate fully in our own lives, how to remember and experience the interconnectedness of all spirit and matter. It's a big promise, right? Big promise, big warning. I seek wisdom in a life that combines contemplation and action. Real contemplation, truly being with the joys and sorrows of my own heart and the world, moves me to action, guided by awareness and fueled by a passion for life. I got to check my time. Oh, I think I'm going to pause us right there because it's a good place to pause, and if I read into the next paragraph, we are going to go way over time. And I don't want to do that for you. I've made a promise to be with you for the amount of time that I've given you, no more, no more. So that being said, it is Thursday, and of course I do want to give you another view. I was giving some of you a view if you were tuned in earlier, because I was waiting for people. So if you caught this in a replay, you've already seen where I am, but this is my favorite day to do readings because it's my beach day. And before I go away from the beach, I love to give you a view of the beach. And, of course, quick announcements. I've got a full-day workshop coming up Saturday, the 11th of December, which is a week and a half away now, a week and a couple of days. So It's 9 to 4, and it's a great opportunity to do some deeper exploration into what we're talking about here. And I promised you beach, and then we'll close out. Actually, I think I'm going to get out of the car to show you beach because, well, no, I don't know. It's a little cool. And I think I can get you most of what we've got here. Yeah, look at that, right? A little closer to surfers in today. But look at that nice stormy water. Isn't that fun to see? Look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. How blessed am I? How fortunate are we that we get to share in this? Yes, there's the car in the way. Should I get out of the car? If you tell me quickly enough, I'll get out of the car. Otherwise, I'm staying. Actually, you know what? I have to get out of the car. You know why I have to get out of the car? Because I need you to hear this water. Listen to this. Of course, the wind goes to listen to this water. That's spectacular. Okay, back out of the wind. And then I will close out for us. I love to close out, of course, with good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, because I don't have any idea what time it is where you are when you're tuning in. And that being said, I am grateful for you tuning in. I am always delighted to be able to share these readings with you. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And congratulations for being willing enough to be bold enough to want to live your life more fully. That being said, I hope you have an amazing day. And Erica, have a great day. I see that in the bottom too. Okay, have a great day. Love ya.